Video on how I edit some of these shots. Now, these shots were really hard to shoot because there was such a mix of light, very light backgrounds and very dark foregrounds, as you can see. Very, very dark, very bright, with some very strong highlights here. So I thought I'd just go through how I edited this image. So this image, I just literally put the camera to ground and took a shot. And as you can see here from the histogram, see there, it's burnt out. Which means I've got very little file information in those little bits there. So how would I go about editing that? I'd go to here, I'd go to linear gradient. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a mask over the top bit there so that I just work on that top bit. I'm not changing the foreground. And you can see it's highlighted there. I've got the red mask on so I can see where I'm working. And here I'm just going to pull down the highlights. You can see the change in the histogram there. Can you see it moving? Watch as I pull that down. And it's just taking out the highlights. I might just play around with the low lights as well. I think I might bring it to about there. That's just worked on that area there. If I go back to the image, you can see there it will bring it. And I've got a before and after button here. It's just darkened it. Now I'm going to work on the foreground here, which is lovely, but I want to just brighten it slightly. So again, I'm going to go back to this button here and I'm going to create a mask. And this time I'm going to go to a new mask because I don't want to work on the same mask. Linear gradient again, and I'm going to bring, wrong button. I'm going to bring it up from the bottom to about there. Again, I've got it in red so I can see where I'm working. And here I'm just going to go to shadows and I'm just going to bring those shadows up slightly, not too much because I still quite like the darkness. Okay, so now I've got two masks working there, you can see, and I'm going to go back to the picture there. I'm now going to open it. This is in RAW, and I'm going to open it into my main Photoshop page. Oh, sorry, I've got a crop on there. Yeah, quite like this. Bless him, I think I'm going to make my boyfriend disappear. So I'm just going to go to here, which is Spot Healing Tool, and I'm just going to see if that's enough to remove him from the picture. Let's have a look. Sorry, mate. Love you, really. I'm just going to zoom in on that. Let's have a look, see if that's damaged it too much. I'm just going to zoom in there. It's not too bad, but I can still see the blur there. So what I might do is I just bring him back. And I might just I would obviously spend a little bit more time editing so that I could make sure that this was done smoothly without bruising the pixels too much. It's almost better if you do it in gaps like that. You get the idea anyway. There are obviously different types of removal tools here as well. Let's just bring him back for the time being because I'm not happy with that edit. The other thing that I would do is I would zoom out of this picture. So let's go back out, smaller, smaller, smaller. And again, let's just go back to original ratio. Straighten. So I can either straighten this by manually pulling it either side there. It's quite hard to do though, because you can see these lines aren't actually on where I want the horizon. I think it's about there. But if I wanted a better, more accurate horizon, I click on that straighten tool there, as you can see there, and I click on, come back, no, straighten, I hadn't highlighted it, click, and I get this icon. And I click and hold, and wherever I put that line will put the horizon, and it gives me a much, much more accurate, let's have a look there. This red bit here, you can see, this is because I've got it constrained to crop, and so that means that it will cut all that out. So if I click OK, there we go. And there we have how I would edit this image.